Yo, yo, yo. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is, and we are, the Vertcoin Core. Today is December 8th, 2021. Do be sure to smash that like, leave a comment below, and of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Market cap, 58 million. Volume, 5 million. Circulating supply, 62,998,000 Vertcoin. Looks like we're just getting ready to hit 63 million on that finally. Right now the price is 93 cents, 1,848 Satoshis against a Bitcoin value of 50,585 United States IOUs. We haven't really seen the Bitcoin price move too much. Hello, Darkhammer93, how's it going? All right, got somebody in the chat. All right, so yeah, Bitcoin's been sitting at about 50,000 pretty much for most of the day, really. We've seen 51,000, but it hasn't really strayed too far away from there. Basically, I say that just to note that Vertcoin has done all of this. If you're looking at the price of it against USD, it's done all of that without the price of Bitcoin really moving at all. So it's moving against the price of Bitcoin, which is obvious if you look at the Vertcoin Bitcoin chart right now. It's killing it. We broke 1,700 Satoshis on this. We've just been blasting through levels on this all day. I remember early this morning I saw we'd gotten back over 1,300, then 14, 15, 16 not too long ago, and now just here recently 17. You see we're diving down there. Oh man, I'm showing you guys the wrong window here. All right, yo, what's up? Here we are. Okay, cool. So now that I have you guys in the right window here, you see yeah, there we are, 1724 Satoshis. This is a mean rocket that we are seeing ourselves ride right now. It's absolutely fantastic. I was going to tweet about this yesterday. I finally saw something in the chart that you would think you'd see more often, but surprisingly never really do. It's the very rare cup and handle formation. I was looking at this, but here you can see it kind of in the daily, but I was looking at it in the 1 hour. You can kind of get a closer view here. And the way I was looking at this was before we started to see ourselves come back up here. I was looking at this bull here, right? And because of the way Bitcoin did a day or two ago, where basically it took a whole market with it, because of that we saw ourselves come back down and then start to trend sideways here, which I thought really started to look like a signature cup and handle. I was getting ready to tweet about it, but in the end I chose not to be I guess trying to be too hypey just before the stream, so I decided not to do it because it was a pretty bullish looking pose. I had like little cup and handle things all over it. Let me see, I'll pull that up real quick. I think I have it right there. There it is. So yeah, you see I was watching it right here, just waiting for it to basically become this handle right here. We already had the cup where it came up, met the two peaks, and we had this dip here thanks to Bitcoin and the rest of the market. And if this was going to be true, we'd be waiting just to kind of go sideways a little bit longer and then take off. We'd retest both of these highs, which is basically what we're doing right now. We kind of have finally we've kind of finally broken through these levels. If I can get rid of this real quick. There we go. Yeah, you see, we haven't really gone up as high as the old level up here. But as far as, you see, like we had kind of an average right here, medium top range. And this is basically what I was looking at here. So as far as this is concerned, and we did encounter some resistance here around the 1500, 1600 Satoshi level. And as far as I'm concerned, we've broken through that. This cup, we've surpassed it. And if you look at these little charts here, that's basically what you wait for to happen, is at some point you recover from that handle, from that dip, and you retest the resistance here, break through it. All right, you have your breakout there, and then your minimum, check out, I'm pretty sure this is the one that says it, but your minimum price target then is like double this. It's way up there, and that's your minimum price target, not your maximum, not even close. That's just the kind of the direction you're planning on going on. 6. All right, cool. Thank you, Aussie Patriot. Good to see you. But yeah. So that's basically what I was seeing play out in this yesterday, and seeing the way everything went down today. That was good to see. I didn't get out there and put this tweet out there, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter. The price did it anyway. There we go. Get rid of that. So let me go ahead and jump over real quick, and we'll take a look at this against USD real quick, just to see where we are. Finally leaving this purple box range. How long till the halving? All right, cool. Let's see. We've got, if you look on the screen, down here below my face, there's a block number, and when that gets to 168 and a bunch of zeros, that'll be the halving. And also we have a counter here that we'll be checking in on every now and then. So if you can see the nice and big that we are at block 1,679,977. So we've got just under 25 blocks to go. And this program, I believe, is supposed to give us some kind of celebration right around the halving. So we'll be sure to keep an eye on that. Popping back over here into this chart, we did finally break out of this purple box. I don't really know how far this is going to go, but it's definitely good to see it doing this finally. VTCember has really been a gift to us. It coincides, fortunately, with the halving, which is part of the reason why we put it in December. But it's really been awesome watching this whole thing play out, where we recovered from the 51% attacks that occurred years ago. We went through years of just plummeting price. You think you're at the bottom, and you're not. It got pretty brutal, and everybody kept saying, when Binance, when this exchange, when are we gonna put some effort into marketing? When are we gonna do this? When are we gonna do that? And it was really rough for a long time, being attached emotionally to a coin that was solid, and was just taking the back seat on all the pumps, and all the action was just getting passed up, and there was really nothing, it seemed like, it could be done about it. So that was a pretty rough time. But so we did go down quite a bit. So to look at this now, it's definitely good to see it starting to take on a shape that we can find familiar if we look back, and it's definitely something that we have that's bullish going on right now. I'm trying to zoom this out far enough. Here we go. If you just look back to the beginning of the year, here we are. This is about where I started the channel, and we were overdue. Part of the reason I started the channel, I think, was because, well, really out of frustration. There was so much excellent development going on inside of Vertcoin, and it just wasn't getting talked about. It just got no recognition, and I thought I could do some good in the community. So it's good to see this kind of thing working out and playing out the way it has. It's been a great year already, almost. Here on the other side of the new year, it'll be a year that I've been working on this channel, so it's been absolutely fantastic. But yeah, you can take a look back at these charts and just kind of see that we're just revving up. You see that? I'll back this out a little bit further so we can get a look at this in the weekly. We're just getting warmed up here, folks. And yeah, like I said, VTCember has been great. We've got a lot of new Vertcoiners in the space now. We're reaching out to a lot of new people, getting Vertcoin the recognition that it deserves and has deserved for far too long. But this is just the beginning. If you're here now, congratulations, and congratulate yourselves, really, because you're in for an awesome ride. If you think that gains like this are a thing of the past, I assure you, Vertcoin will show you different. We're gonna look at these charts in a couple different ways throughout the night for me. It's morning for my friends over in Europe, so we'll revisit these and pop in and get a look at it from a couple different angles, but I don't want to beat you guys down too much with the charts too early. Let's hop over real quick back over to the counter. Oh my god, I wasn't even showing you guys the charts. Sorry about that. I'm kind of new to this. In fact, this is my first ever live stream. I've never done anything like this before. It sounds so dirty. But yeah, no, it's been an awesome journey, and I'm glad to finally be able to do this live stream. We'll pop over real quick and check in on the price. If I can remember to do that here. There we go. So like I was saying, we hit 1,700 Satoshis, which was, I wouldn't say unexpected. It was definitely expected, but I really honestly expected a little bit more of a retest, if you will, around 1,600. I thought we were going to kind of come down a little bit and then jet back off. I expected that this resistance level would be more of an issue, and it absolutely wasn't. We hung out there for about 2 seconds and just jammed. So right now we're looking at between 1701 and 1737 in the order books right now. There was a time when I was looking at this right around 600 Satoshis, and there was like nothing on the sell side. There was like nothing there. It was like orders of 60 something and a bunch of them of 100, and that lasted all the way from like 15 something all the way up to like way past 16, and it was just small orders like that. So it really, if you wanted to buy a large amount of Vertcoin at that time, like, you would have had to pay quite a premium at the time. I mean, like, they were at the time asking, I think it was like right at around 1,600, and the price, on the buy side, it was probably 15, low 15s, you know. So It got pretty crazy there. It was dry. It was dry. If you wanted to buy Vertcoin, I mean, you were gonna have to clean a page and a half of the sell side. It was nuts. Hey, thank you, Aussie Patriot. Hey, it's good to see all of y'all in the chat. And y'all, don't let me forget, I do have a couple of giveaways that I want to get done tonight. Let's get back to 0.01 BTC. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get there. Let's get there. Let's take a look real quick on that note at how high Vertcoin has been in the past. And you know, yes, finally, this blue line right here, I finally get a chance to explain it to you guys. But let's take a look at how high these prices have been in the past. Here we go. This is 800,000 sats. I think that's higher than what Litecoin is right now. No, I'm wrong. But yeah, so onward to this this blue line right here. So if you take a look at how I drew this in, it doesn't really come to any particular peaks. Basically what it does is it kind of wedges itself in at a point where I thought there was like a significant amount of not buy or sell volume, but volume in the price action itself, right? Like here we have a pretty significant spike where the price went up, but there isn't a lot of volume, if you will, inside this range. So most of the volume for this pump is down here in this area. The same thing happened here. So basically, if we kind of ignore how high Vertcoin was in the beginning, and then just kind of bring it down to where the price kind of settled in finally after it came down off those initial pumps, we bring it down to what's that, 27,000 satoshis. All right. Yeah, so 27,000 satoshis, roughly 23, 24, 25. So then from there we bring the line on across here to the next one, and this one sets us up at about 33,000 satoshis, where it's kind of big in here. Like say like if this pump here happened so fast and it was over real quick, we can say that this is negligible. But where did we actually see price action? I'd say under this level here, and a lot more of it here. And that's what I really want to point out. So here in the beginning, we didn't see a lot of it. In the next pump, we saw quite a bit more. And in this third pump here in 2017, it's a lot wider, a little bit taller here, right? So we are starting to see more, I guess you'd call it utility, because these aren't just small, quick sell, buy orders, just quick pump and dump kind of thing right here. Like this is actual price action that held up for a while. I mean, sure, we were in a pretty steep decline here, but all of this price action creates a pretty big area here. So looking at the way this kind of goes from one to the next, I would say it's reasonable to suspect, or to expect rather, that the next one would be even bigger. And that's not an estimate on how high the price can go. That's completely discounting that altogether. We're just going to say how high, like on average, kind of where could the price be for some time, what would be like an average kind of high for that pump. that brings us to about 80,000 Satoshis, 90,000 Satoshis. So, and on something that big, like if it were to start, if it started here, and I mean, look, you can't even see the price action we're having right now. It's so small. It's so small. But that's what I want you guys to keep in mind, is that, yeah, like Vertcoin is getting some good price action. It's doing okay, right? We're getting a decent little pump and we're passing previous little highs here and there. But if you look at this chart, like, where is that taking place? It's way down here. That's on the ant level. That's nothing. It's good to see some price action moving in the right direction, but we're just getting started, guys. Just getting started. So yeah, right now we're playing around in the 1,000 Satoshi range, and we're gonna laugh about this in a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Come Ethereum going proof of stake. If this halving doesn't do it, oh, speaking of the halving, let me check. Let me show it to you guys real quick. So we're 19 blocks away from the halving now. Says we should be getting there in about 47 minutes. That's awesome. You guys, if you're here now, that's good to see. I was actually kind of worried because when I put out that tweet earlier, I said that we were expecting to go on at around 3 a.m. Central Standard Time. And as I watched the block height and the counter here and everything, it just kind of seemed to speed up on us. So I was a little bit worried there. I figured at some point a couple hours ago that I was gonna have to go on earlier than expected, and so yeah, soon thereafter it went from 4 o'clock expected halving time to 3 o'clock expected halving time. So I had to go ahead and jump on here at 2. That's Central Standard Time. So, but yeah, it's good to see everybody here. We will hang out and see who else shows up for the halving itself. Hopefully nobody was paying too much attention to the actual time, but the block, I figured that was the best way to do it. Just kind of announce it by what block I was going to be starting on. Hello. Rather than trying to pinpoint a time and then having to come back and say, hey, it's the time for the stream has changed. We're going to be doing it 10 minutes earlier now. Awesome. Thank you, Aussie Patriot. And Trendo, hello. But yeah, so I didn't want to just be, shooting and missing with Twitter, trying to let you guys know when we were going to be doing this. So I had to put it out there, what block we would be starting in. And man, I got to tell you guys, it was a little bit crazy. Now we'll get on that later. Good question. Do I mine Vertcoin? Actually, I do. In fact, in my earlier videos, you let's see, come here. Awesome. Good to see. Thank you. Earlier on, when you watch my videos, you could hear the miner running in the background. So as I started to kind of try to be a little bit more professional about it, I started turning the miner off, so that way it kind of cut down on the background noise. And a lot of you guys are going to remember I used to have a mouse. It was very clicky. It was very loud. But I finally got rid of that, so just been trying to slowly upgrade the channel, do a little bit better here and there as I record the videos, I go back, I pay attention to them, try to figure out what I'm doing wrong or could be doing better and try to make those adjustments slowly for you guys. If you've been around from the beginning, I appreciate you. I appreciate your patience, because this has been a little bit of a train wreck at times. But hey, we're here, we're rocking it, and we keep on going. But yes, absolutely, I do mine Vertcoin. I've up until recently, I didn't always mine Vertcoin, though. A lot of times I would, you know how you can cross mine and stuff like that. Like a lot of times, or from what I understand, you can use Verthash. You can use the OCM to mine Dogecoin. I can't imagine why anybody would do that, but you can do that. Apparently, I've never done it. Why would I? But so mining one coin to buy another one isn't unusual, and that's basically what I did a lot of the time. I would mine Ethereum to mine or to buy Vertcoin rather than just mining the Vertcoin directly, just because Ethereum was more profitable at the time. But there are quite a few reasons why it made sense to mine Vertcoin instead of Ethereum. Even if you can do that, it's a lot better for your system, definitely. During the summer months, you don't want to be anywhere near this thing. It gets very hot, and I guess I'll wait till after the halving, and I'll show you guys this miner over here. The fact that you asked if I mine Vertcoin or if I mine is a good sign that this thing's not overwhelmingly loud. I was kind of worried about that. I was going to put on a little music in the background to kind of try to drown it out, but I guess that's not necessary. So we've got 17 blocks to go. This is exciting. VT Simber has been fantastic. It's been awesome. It's been great getting all these new people in here, seeing all of the new content that they can create, just watching the community grow, basically, is the bottom line. Watching the community grow exponentially, it seems, over the last couple of weeks, days even. It's been absolutely nuts and heartwarming to see people, accounts that you've never seen before, tweeting about Vertcoin and just, making themselves part of the community and doing what they can to make a difference for the coin, for the community. That's what we stand for, and it's absolutely great to see it. So to everybody out there who's new to the community, I applaud you for coming in and being awesome. This is an awesome community. It's been absolutely great being here myself, and I welcome all of you. GPUs, I will show you guys the miner and break all that down, show you guys exactly what I'm running and what it's putting out after the halving. So after the halving, stick around. I'll be showing you guys this beast, and I'll show you what it can do. I've played around with different kind of games. Mostly I play GTA 5, and I use it for watching Netflix, Amazon, whatever kind of stuff like that. And my hash rate, it doesn't do too bad. For the kind of strain and stuff that I put it on. I mean, I run GTA 5 at pretty high settings, and I'll click in and out to kind of check and see how the miner's doing. I can't tell you guys exactly what kind of kilohash or anything like that I'm putting out right now, because I'm gonna save all that for after the fireworks. Let's see. Finally bought some 2 days ago. Good. Hopefully you got it at a nice low. In fact, yeah, you would have. So that's a good thing. You got to see the price shoot up there. Hopefully you did catch it on that nice dip. That was phenomenal. That was like watching the vert bus come back through one more time. You know, that was pretty good. I'm over here screwing around with these little screws, probably making all kinds of noise. But yeah, no, that was awesome to see. I wasn't worried about that at all. I was excited. I was like, all right, here we go. I was just sitting there watching it. This is gonna play out nicely, and surely enough, it did. Let's see here. Since I wasn't even showing you guys the charts last time when I thought I was. Let's see. Well, yeah, you know what? I guess that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm going to go ahead and put this up because basically I'm waiting to see if my hash rate will drop at the halving or a little bit after. I'll keep it up here, so just in case it's delayed or whatever, we'll get a chance to see that over the following few minutes. See the expected earnings drop from whatever it is at before. I say that because it's at 17 right now, and I mean, granted, I'm streaming. I got a lot of windows up and everything like that, so 17 I guess isn't bad. I was getting 20 on average for the last couple of days, weeks, and so right now I'm getting 17. But yeah, like I said, I can go ahead and put this up, but I'll actually be showing you guys the machine and explaining, you know, the cards and everything like that are on it. It's a little bit of a project, actually. So I'm actually glad that right now it's not finished, and that's great because it gives us somewhere to go. This is the first live stream. I don't think it'll be the last. So this beast over here, I don't want to talk about it too much because I still got to show it to you guys, but it's not done. The project isn't done. There's still a couple of things that need to be done, put on it and stuff like that. So we'll get there. We will get there. Man, you guys, yeah, I was super nervous watching the blocks tick down. It was pretty wild. But yeah, let's go ahead and check this out real quick against USD. You can already see that hold on real quick. It says, I'm a noob. How many VTC you reckon you will mine per month after the halving? Oh, good question. Right now, I think I'm probably getting... Well, you know what? We'll get on that later. But no, so right now, I think I'm probably getting... It's 100 and something a week. At least I think so. About 400 a month. So I'd anticipate dropping down to about 200 Vertcoin a month with this rig. Which is okay with me. I mean, really, I can't wait for Ethereum to go proof of stake. At this point, I have no intention of switching back to mining Ethereum, even for the sake of buying Vertcoin like I was doing. Like I said, I would mine the Ethereum and say within like a 10-day period or something like that, I would have enough Ethereum to buy twice as much Vertcoin as I would have been able to mine in that 10-day period. So it was the most, economical thing to do. So I did that. But like I said, there's a lot of downside to it. The miner would get extremely hot. I always had to have some kind of extra cooling. Like right now, I don't even have a fan sitting up here right now. I'm mining Vertcoin right now with all of my cards, and I would typically with Ethereum definitely have to have a fan right here blowing the heat off of them, but with Vertcoin that's not necessary, and that'll shock you even more when you see how I have this thing set up. You would expect for there to be tons of heat accumulating at the back of those cards, but it's actually not that bad. Mining VTC, it's great. It's great. It's a little. I'll tell you the downside of it is if you're using it to heat a room, kind of like how I was doing for a little while before I switched over to just mining Vertcoin full time. It started getting cold here where I am, and mining Ethereum was a really good way to have a nice toasty room to retreat to in the morning. You crawl out of bed early and seek warmth. Like you would have to have a fire burning 24 hours a day to have the kind of convenience and warmth that you have running that miner. It's insane. But that's not always great. In the summertime, I mean, my electric bills were higher this past year than they've ever been. And I'm sure that that's not even from running the machine, but running the AC constantly to keep this house cool from the heat coming off of this thing. I've had to try to come up with other ways to get the heat away from them, from the cards, and I'm actually going to use one of those methods. I'll explain it more when I show it to you guys later on. In fact, let's go ahead and pop in real quick and check out the counter. 986. So we've got 14 blocks to go. While we have a few minutes, I can go ahead and get off the topic of this miner so I get ready to show it to you guys. Do you guys have any questions for me in the chat? I guess that was all basically to answer the question. Yes, I do mine Vertcoin. I hadn't been for a while. I was mining Ethereum to buy Vertcoin, but now I am mining Vertcoin directly. Excuse me, I had a little bit of a burp there. But yeah, no, I am mining Vertcoin 100% of the time right now. It's been a life changer. It's great. Any more questions, chat? You got anything else for me? We got 14 blocks to go. That gives us about 35 minutes according to the counter here. And I know I mentioned during my last video that I was going to stay on in stream for 2 hours after the halving. I decided that's too much. I'm going to just probably stay on for about an hour or so. We'll talk about the miner. I'll show it to you guys, and you guys can ask me whatever questions you want. We'll talk about a couple other things in the charts. I have a couple of topics here written down to get on to here and there. And you know what? While we have a few minutes until you guys come up with any questions that you want to ask me, I want to talk real quick about Gary Gensler and the SEC. Reason being is there's a lot of commotion being stirred up right now in the cryptocurrency community, and it has a lot to do with the SEC. I'll get to that question here in just a second, Aussie Patriot. It's been it's been weird watching them, the way they've reacted to different cryptocurrencies, and with the lawsuit that they have with Ripple and everything. It's been kind of weird watching the way that situation has kind of played out with them saying it was Hinman who had given an opinion about Ethereum, and that was basically what everybody acted on at that time, thinking that it was that his word was law, even though we discover years later that he was just giving his opinion and they didn't mean anything really. So that is going to make very interesting times for a lot of cryptocurrencies moving forward. Ethereum is going to be one of the first. It's already being speculated that the SEC is going to go after Ethereum after they're done with Ripple. It's also being speculated that they'll be going after Cardano. I wouldn't be surprised. They're basically starting at the top. They're going after whoever they can, whoever has an organization that you can reach, that has heads that you can, bring into the office, bring into court or whatever. They're dealing with those while they can, assuming, I'm sure, that they have done things that were questionable in the past and gave the SEC the justification. But the reason I wanted to bring that up is because, sure, while there are going to be a lot of cryptocurrencies that are going to have to pay that piper, if you will, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and, of course, Vertcoin are in a pretty good place with regard to that, because, for one, a Bitcoin maximalist would argue that, well, there's nobody you can get in touch with at Bitcoin headquarters. It doesn't exist. So who are you going to sue? What are you going to do? And that's a great argument. Absolutely. But in Vertcoin's case, I think we have it actually just a little bit more favorable because of Gary Gensler. When Gary Gensler went to the SEC, a lot of people were very, kind of shaken up about that. Who is he going to go after? Blah, blah, so people were kind of freaking out about that. I wasn't actually terribly worried about it. I was actually kind of surprised and excited by it, because if you take a look or take a moment to research Gary Gensler and what he did at MIT, take a look at some of his the lectures that he gave and the position that he has on cryptocurrencies. You can tell that this is not a guy that's going to come after Vertcoin or other simple cryptocurrencies. If there are obvious issues that need to be addressed, like the way things were handled with Ripple or Cardano or Ethereum even, then sure, those things will need to be addressed in order to keep the ball of progress rolling forward. But he's very knowledgeable, and I mean, he's one of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to cryptocurrency that I've ever listened to. And it's not just on the subject of one cryptocurrency where, you got this CEO who's, talking about this, and oh yeah, he really knows what he's talking about. No, Gary Gensler is knowledgeable in a way that he's knowledgeable about cryptocurrency as a whole, what it is, what it does, what it can be good for, and he's not against it. So that is a plus in itself. But secondly, is he actually worked very closely during his time at MIT with people who were I won't say he worked directly with the developers, but he worked closely with organizations that the developers for Vertcoin were on. It was the it was the I could look it all up right now, but if you look at one of my last videos, Friends in High Places, I definitely go through who knew who, all of that good stuff. So definitely check that video out. It's one of my earlier videos, but I felt like that stuff really needed to be said. So if you are the kind of person that worries about Gary Gensler and his position at the SEC and what that could mean for coins like Vertcoin, definitely check that video out and put your mind at ease. We are good on that front. 989, we got 11 blocks to go. Binance when CZ hates us. Dude, you know what? I honestly, I don't know personally what the deal is with Binance. I've been in Vertcoin off and on since 2018, right? And when I first came in, I was already, I got on Bittrex. I don't think it was Vertcoin that brought me to Bittrex, but I got on Bittrex early on, and I liked it. I used it frequently, and I always would see people get on and be like, oh, well, when are we getting on Binance? You know, like, what about Binance? And I very quickly became of the mind that Binance just wasn't something I was going to do. And once I'm like that, it's just not a thing really that's going to happen. Like, for example, I don't shop at Walmart. That's just something I refuse to do. I haven't shopped in a Walmart in over 10 years, probably 11, 12 years now. It's just something I won't do. It doesn't exist to me. To me, Binance is kind of like the Walmart of cryptocurrency, you know? And Bittrex isn't like that. It has class, you know? And you basically get the same, it's kind of like Target. You basically get the same thing, just not, you don't feel like you have to shower afterwards. No, I'm just kidding. I sound like I'm being judgmental, but I'm not. It's just a personal choice. But yeah, no. So I didn't want to get into to Binance. So when people would talk about it, I would always say, "Who cares about Binance?" You know. But you know what? Like, actually, now that I think about it, there was a time when I was really, really young into crypto, and the price was like $9 and falling through every floor imaginable. It was rough. And if you told me that if we did this, it could help the price, I'd be on it, seriously. So when I found out there was a Binance place and we weren't on it, I was like, yeah, when are we going to get on Binance? And so it's Kmart in Australia. I feel you. Yeah, we got rid of Kmart here, but I mean, it's basically just for Walmart. Yeah, you know what? That's actually what I heard about Binance. That's what I was trying to get at. It's they got upset with us because of an NDA. I guess they were gonna list us, but we ended up, whoever it was, let it get out how much they were charging for the listing. So Binance got upset about it and said never mind. So that is basically the background of why we're not on Binance and why we can't get on Binance and why when Binance is such a joke. It's an effort really that I've seen a lot of people put forward over the years. A lot of people have come and gone, unfortunately, and their whole thing has been, you know, Binance, Binance, Binance. Like, we have to get on Binance. When Binance? What are we doing about Binance? You know, and it's just, it's kind of rough to watch it's kind of sad to see, so many people come in and passionate people who come into the Vertcoin community and are certain they have the answer, and they're like, we have to get on Binance. What are we doing about Binance? And we're just like, guys, we hear you. We've tried. You're welcome to approach the gong and beat it with all your might. But everybody here's already done that, man. Like, we'll sit back, we'll applaud you while you do it. We'll be there to support you. We'll like all your tweets and everything like that. But realistically, do we think Binance is gonna just list us one day? Probably not. I mean, if they do, it'll be based on the idea that people have had way back, and that's the idea that once we hit higher prices and get the kind of volume, will be more attractive to different exchanges. So the idea is we're not going to worry about which exchanges are listing us and which are not. 7 blocks left. Very nice. Very nice. So we're not going to worry about getting listed on exchanges. When it comes time, if they want to list us, we'll be here. And we just kind of left it at that. I agree. It's been good this last year watching a lot of the exchanges start to come back. How we ended up with just Bittrex there for a while. I think we probably had, another one or two here or there, smaller exchanges that I'd never really heard of. But honestly, from 2018, when I was in Vertcoin still on the way down, I could have swore there were way more places where you could get Vertcoin. Like I thought, like honestly, like it was on Eden and Exodus, a couple other places. Like I really thought that, like maybe even on Kraken and stuff like that. Like I was pretty sure I saw Vertcoin in a couple different places, and the price continued to tumble. I took my broken heart and moved on for a little while, and came back to Vertcoin, and naturally I just jumped on Bittrex and it was still on there, and I was like, all right, cool, well, there's my Vertcoin, and I just went ahead and started doing my thing. And it wasn't until later on I realized that it's only on Bittrex for the most part. Like you can get it here and there, but really it's just Bittrex. Like everybody else has delisted us. So it's been good to see the exchanges coming back. Hit BTC, big one. I don't know how much they're doing in volume right now. I'm sure we could check that. In fact, here, let's go ahead and check it. Let me make sure I get you guys in the right window. There we go. All right, so Bittrex is still at the top. Hit BTC. There's Hit BTC. So you see, Hit BTC is only registering like $2,000 in volume today. With the kind of movement that we've been seeing today. I mean, look at, dude, Bitvavo, $5 million worth of volume today. That's pretty impressive. I didn't realize there was that much going on Bitvavo. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out why exactly Bittrex is still listed on top here, if there's so much more going on Bitvavo, volume wise. But there you see it. I mean, plenty of volume moving through just those two. Hit BTC lagging behind, but it's just over 2 million. It's just a sign of the times, though, I guess, really, because there was such a bear market. I think that a lot of people who were in crypto kind of found themselves centralizing into one or two exchanges. So other exchanges that, because at the time, like, everybody wanted to be on every exchange. I did. I mean, I have I was on like every exchange. Like literally, I Yobit, hit BTC, you name it. I don't see too many other ones on here that I was in, but yeah, tons of them. Kraken, I was in all of them. But yeah, no. So like I said, it's good to see this thing turning around and exchanges coming back. Where are we on? 7 blocks. 6 blocks. All right, here we go. We're getting down to it. Getting down to the wire. Let's go ahead and pop in and check out the price. Here we are. Yeah, so right now we're still just kind of, excuse me, still hanging out here around 1,700 satoshis. Looks like we ran up and touched. Let me bring this down to a smaller time frame. Go ahead and work from the 4 hour. And yeah, there you see it. We came out, peaked out around 1750, and probably just kind of taking a second to observe this resistance level here. As thin as it is, I mean, it's the closest thing, and you know how hard really it is to pull away from the most previous high, from the closest high like this. So we could see ourselves kind of bounce around for a second here as we make the push to break above 1950. It looks like is the peak back here at the end of October. So I'm sure this will continue on upwards. I mean, like, look how much volume and like actual movement there is in this pump. Like, this isn't just some quick up down. This is no pump and dump. This is real movement right here. Look at this. I mean, that's impressive. That's just absolutely gorgeous. So like right now, I would think that we're probably going to go ahead and take a little bit of the breather that I was expecting to see around 1600 satoshis. I'm not saying that that's really what's going to happen, but if we do kind of pause here at 1700, I think we'll kind of bounce around between, yeah, probably stay above 1600 satoshis, kind of hang out here for a little while, and then just get ready to go ahead and continue ripping it. That's a big if right now. That's if it decides to kind of hang back here and observe this resistance level. It doesn't even necessarily have to do that. It could just rip straight past all this, keep going, just say bye to everybody who's sold. And that's another thing, really, man. Like in times like this, when the prices are going up, you would think that it's real easy to make money in a market like this. But the reality of it is, having been here before 2017, I could tell you, it's not that easy. There are definitely mistakes that can be made that could keep you from making money, even in this kind of market. Trust me, I did it. If you watch my first video, I kind of go into a little bit of that, but absolutely, guilty as charged. I got in September of 2017. What a time to stumble upon crypto. And I did, really. I'm not saying I literally was walking and tripped over some Bitcoin, but nobody told me about it. which really made this whole thing a whole lot more of a lonely journey. I was into a tech channel on YouTube. Excuse me. Had never heard of Bitcoin or anything like that before, and the tech channel does an episode where they're talking about Bitcoin, what it is, its rising popularity, which just hadn't risen to me at that point. Yeah, 4 blocks left. Here we go. We're getting there. Very nice, very nice. All right, real quick, I'm gonna write down a number between 1 and 25. All right, I'm gonna pick a number between 1 and 25 and write it down right here on this paper. I'll give it about 2 minutes, and the first person to be right about what number is on this page will receive 12.5 VTC. So go ahead and get those guesses in here on the chat. You got a few minutes. I'll give you about 2 minutes to get those guesses in. I have a number written down on the piece of paper in front of me. Closest person to that number wins 12.5 VTC. How much coin per day from a 3070 mining VTC? Well, there's actually a pretty good way to find that out. Let me see. I don't have it up right now. I could try to find it and show it to you guys, but it would take me a minute. But yeah, good question though. I'm sure you could probably get about right now maybe 6 or 7, probably about 6 or 7 VTC with that 3070. All right, the guesses are in. Well, they're still coming in. We'll go ahead and let that run just a few more minutes. It's actually a number between 1 and 25 there, Dan. If it was 1 and 24, between 1 and 45, though, that'd be a pretty good guess. Still 4 blocks of the halving. This is exciting. This has been a very exciting time. This halving, this price action, been very cool to watch. It's been nice to be here on this side of the price action for once with Vertcoin. All right, I think that's about probably the last guess. Oh, there we go. We got a couple more. Ah, I see what you did there, Dan. 25. Good guess. Good guess. Good guess. What is use case? I like that question. Really, it tends to, it floats around Vertcoin a little bit. It's kind of odd though, I think, because it's the same as Bitcoin use. It's the same as Bitcoin's use case. It does the same thing Bitcoin does, except you have the insurance that it wasn't mined by crazy big GPU farms in China. I mean, not GPU farms, but ASIC farms in China. You know, but yeah, basically that. Yeah, it's a currency. Its use case is the same as Bitcoin. It's a currency. It's peer to peer. I've talked about this in my videos before. That's straight up and down what it does, and what it is. Like, that is its use case. It's a cryptocurrency. There's a lot. I understand the question, though. I understand the reason for the question, because there are so many coins out there now that, like, everybody has a coin that does something different, and it's kind of ridiculous, really. Yeah, everybody's kind of building these walled gardens with their individual cryptocurrencies that do their one thing within their one platform, but you can't really do anything with them outside of that. It's like trying to spend, you know, your Walmart tokens at Chick-fil-A. You know, hey, sir, we don't take these. You're gonna have to exchange them somewhere. That's basically 2 blocks left. 2 blocks left. So yeah, I mean, like, but Bitcoin, Vertcoin, these are cryptocurrencies that are meant to be exchanged peer to peer. The more they're adopted, the bigger the network is, and we've already seen what the network is, what the value of the network is with Bitcoin. It's not really. I don't really think the idea of Bitcoin being successful on its own is very realistic, just because of the issues that Bitcoin has. It's slow. It needs a faster currency. Not only that, but this is actually another topic I'm going to get into afterwards, real quick. I actually do believe that there are reasons to believe that there are national security concerns with Bitcoin. We got a couple of seconds here, but basically, we know that most of that was mined by miners in China. I'd say, how are we to believe that most of that Bitcoin isn't still in China? I think it's funny now that they decided to ban Bitcoin all around. So that everybody had to leave, all the miners had to go to other places. You can't use Bitcoin inside of China at all. When for years and years and years they were mining all of it. I just think, like, if that would be like a hell of a rug pull right there. Like, seriously, like if Mina got everybody on the Bitcoin, if you know what I mean, and it was basically just to rug pull and wreck everybody's economy. It's a possibility, you know, but that is the downside, if you will, to the greatness that Bitcoin effectively is. It does have a major national security downside, and that's it. Vertcoin, fortunately, doesn't have that. Vertcoin's GPU mined. You can mine it at home. It's mined in a way that is meant to be as decentralized as possible. Looking at my YouTube analytics, like, it's really like the only people that are really even concerned with Vertcoin at all, for the most part, is here in the US and in parts of Europe. That's it. And that's ideal, if you ask me. It'd be great to have more participation coming from other countries and stuff like that, and that'll come with time, no doubt. The area around Netherlands, Belgium, stuff like that, like, that's starting to grow with VTC, and that's fantastic to see. Honestly, I had no idea until I checked those analytics. Still waiting on 2 blocks, or 1 block left. Let me go ahead and bring up, let's see. Make this a little bigger. Yeah, I was looking around for somewhere to let's see. Yeah, we're still 2 blocks out. I was looking for somewhere to watch the halving, if you will, and I checked here in the core wallet. I didn't see it at first. I went on Discord and asked around, and got a couple pretty decent ideas of where to look and where to watch it from. And then Vertcoin, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Vertcoin, replies back. He's like, why don't you just look in the core wallet? So I looked again, and sure enough, I found it on here, and I was like, man, that's perfect. So this is actually the quickest updating place we have to look, as far as I know. So right now, yeah, we're still just 2 blocks out. There it is, 9999. So one more block. We are 1 block away from the halving, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a phenomenal and fantastic ride up to this point so far. Let me get this down. There it is. We have halved, ladies and gentlemen, 1,680,000 Vertcoin block. Yeah, good stuff. 840,000 blocks until the next halving. That'll take place in 4 more years. That'll be 2025. The current block reward is now 12.5. I don't see an immediate drop on my expected earnings in the one-click miner just yet. So yeah, good thing we didn't rely on that like I was planning to in the beginning. But yes, bravo everybody. Bravo to everybody who's been holding forever. Everybody who's here that's new. It's awesome having everybody here. And that actually reminds me, there's something actually I wanted to talk to you guys about. You know, I like to start my videos off with a meme. This time around, I actually missed putting it up, but here it is. Once again, do remember to smash that like. If you're watching this after it's been live, of course, leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel for some reason, subscribe to the channel. This is not, I don't suspect this is going to be the last live stream I do. In fact, oh my god, you guys, I had a little bit of a freak out about a week or 2 ago. About a week ago. My other computer, the one that you can see behind me, let me go ahead and make myself visible. The computer you can see behind me over here, well, that monitor isn't just a second monitor to this computer. It's actually a whole separate computer. That's the computer I do all of my editing on, because it has all my old editing software and everything. I don't have any of that on this new one, but that one broke on me. Like, I thought I bricked it, like seriously. Like, no, it has a old hard drive and it was having issues booting. But basically, I thought I wasn't going to be able to edit my videos anymore. And you guys may not realize this, but I edit my videos pretty heavily sometimes. I don't always just get on there and talk like I am right now, but so I usually have like a little bit of a script or something like that I'm trying to go back, trying to hit all these points on and say the right thing. So it's kind of scripted in that way. So I do a lot of re-recording, and a lot of it just ends up having to be cut. Sometimes I get on these and it's just kind of doing that way too much, so I have to edit all that stuff out. But that one stopped working, so I really thought that I was just gonna have to. It was funny because it was after my last video, but before this live stream, I thought I was going to end up having to tell you guys that I hope you like the new format, because I'm going to end up having to live stream basically everything from now on. But it works now, so we're not going to have to do that. But real quick, thumbs up, thumbs down Do you guys want? How would you guys feel about me doing more live streams? Let me know how y'all feel about that. But the winner is, let me see, the winner for the 12.5 VTC giveaway is Ion Games, because the number I wrote down is 9. So you got that exactly right. Congratulations to Ion Games. Go ahead and leave me go ahead and shoot me a DM and leave me your VTC receiving address, and I'll go ahead and get those 12 VTC over to you. I might go ahead and just knock that out here in the chat. I have my core wallet here somewhere. I'll go ahead and buzz it over to you. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the format. I wanted to do more. I was thinking about doing more live streams. Basically, I guess is what I'm getting at. I wasn't really sure how this was going to play out going into it, this being my first time doing this and all. I did kind of find myself in a bit of a comfort zone making videos, and actually getting in front of the camera and doing more live, or doing a live stream was a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I'm that kind of person. I like to push boundaries, push myself. If there's a comfort zone that I haven't stuck my toes in, at least I'm gonna at least try it out and see what's happening there. So this was definitely just a progression move. You know, I started out with a little YouTube channel, like, hey, I'm just here because I think something needs to be said. If you want to listen to me, that's cool. And you know, that's just basically how that started. And now here we are live streaming. The evolution up to this point has been great. Happy to be here. Lucky to be just a member of this awesome community from the beginning, from 2018, and then everybody that's been with me as we dragged along through 2019, 2020. Because in 2019, for the most part, I was out. I was in probably a little bit at the end of 2019, but for the most part, I wasn't screwing around with 2019. Like I said, I had my heart broken by Vertcoin. I had to move on. Let's see. But yeah, all right. So I think, let's see, do lives and you can share on the Twitter pages. That'd be awesome. I appreciate that. I've had like different, like mixed feedback with my videos, and I wasn't really sure. Like sometimes I would kind of go on and go unscripted and just kind of ramble on, talk about whatever is in the charts and whatever issues and stuff like that. And those videos would kind of tend to drag on a little bit longer. And I would actually get really good feedback on those. Like people would say, hey, like I actually like the longer videos. And so I was like, okay, cool. You know, people don't really mind me getting on and just rambling unscripted. So that's good to know. That's good to know. I would say I'm good at that, but I don't know. Man, yeah, no, dude, congratulations to everybody in the community for being here. Like everybody who was with me through that whole dragging that we got these last couple of years, to finally be at the halving, to finally see good positive price action, to finally see this community growing. It's phenomenal. It's great. Is 1000 VTC going to be life changing? Wow. I would like to have like a right off the bat answer for that, but I'm absolutely just I'm rocked by the question. Being a long-term Vertcoin holder, having been here for so long and having seen so much punishment, seeing a question like that, it's wild. I've never even thought about it. But it absolutely could be. It could be 1000 VTC, sure. Like if we looked at like Litecoin right now, like Litecoin's at like $200 or something like that. So Let me. Yeah, Litecoin's just under 200 bucks. In fact, like it's kind of having itself quite a dip right now. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, check it out. The one-click miner did finally drop the hash rate. So right now, stressing the system as I am right now, I'm getting looks like 8 VTC a day. That's pretty cool. So I just went from 17 to just over 8. That's pretty cool just to see that drop like that. So without stressing the system this way, I'm pretty sure I'll still be getting around 10 VTC a day. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. But yeah, if you look at Litecoin right now, the price, like I said, right around 200 bucks. If you looked at the idea that Vertcoin could flip Litecoin, that we could absolutely take Litecoin's market cap, which I totally believe, for a lot of reasons. I think that could happen. But say we get that out of the way, Vertcoin flips Litecoin, then sure, if we were looking at like a $200 Vertcoin, then yeah, of course, 1,000 of them would be, it could be life changing. Sure, you'd be looking at 200 grand. So yeah, that's basically how to look at it. How high, do you think it can go? 400? Sure. We've seen Litecoin be at like $400. In fact, I think we've seen Litecoin go to like 800. So if Vertcoin were to find itself like an $800, $1,000 VTC, then sure, that could be life changing. $1 million bucks. So yeah, absolutely. You know what's crazy? I've only got 111 VTC. LOL, better get cracking. No, in probably this notebook right here. I'm a meticulous writer. I write like everything down, like all my trades, and just like I have stuff in this notebook right here from when I was buying and trading and all kinds of stuff back in 2017, 2018. Like a whole bunch of my noob mistakes that I made are in this notebook right here. At one point I was holding Doge, very little of it. I think I had like 3 million Doge or something like that. Nothing significant at the time. It was only like $100 worth, but all that stuff is in here. And yeah, it's at one point I also had like 100 and something VTC. But of course the price was a lot higher. Like I said, when I first got into it, it was $9. And so yeah, like for me to get in and have 100 VTC, like that was 900 bucks. 100 VTC, 100 VTC when I first got in would have cost you $900. 900 bucks for 100 VTC. Let's see. I have to see a video of you explaining the fundamentals of how VTC could flip Litecoin. That would be brilliant for us noobs. Yeah, sure. I actually was in a couple of videos. I hit on the idea, but I was actually planning on doing a VTC versus LTC video where I would go in depth into all the ideas, the fundamentals, how exactly Vertcoin could pull off flipping Litecoin and how realistic that is. So being that it's been asked about now, like definitely that'll be one of my first videos coming up after this stream. So if not the next one, it'll be the one after that. So I appreciate you bringing that up to me. I'll make sure to go ahead and get that going, because yeah, that is something that should be looked at more. Yeah, it's something I'm excited about, and I think at least it's something we could all, as a community, benefit from having to look forward to. Flipping Litecoin. All these price predictions, and yeah, I think it could get to that price. I think it could get to that price. You can always set these ideas out further and change them and everything like that. Um, and as time goes on, you just kind of end up moving the goalpost. But I think having a good solid idea, like a good solid mission to kind of rally around and kind of chase down, flipping Litecoin is perfect for that. So yeah, absolutely. I believe it can totally be done. There's no reason it can't. I just honestly believe that we're better than Litecoin in every way, really. We managed to remain what Litecoin tried to be and couldn't be. If that doesn't, if you try to be something and you fail at that, and then something else comes along and it's actually successful at being that thing is probably better. That's Vertcoin. That other thing over there looking sad is Litecoin. Coinbase effect. Coinbase and Binance is the reason Litecoin is where it is. Of course, there was a time. It's understandable, because there was a time when I first got in, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin were the only things on Coinbase. I know that sounds crazy. That sounds ridiculous. Especially, I don't even use Coinbase very much anymore. Like, if I have to move money out of my Bittrex account, I just do that straight out of Bittrex. I used to just move it into to BTC and then transfer the BTC to Coinbase, and that whole dog and pony show. I used to do that and get absolutely raked by it at every turn. You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever tried to withdraw your cryptocurrency funds at all through Coinbase, you know the feeling. You know that ouch you get every time you click sell or transfer or move or anything like that. You get taxed at every single turn. You pay premiums when you make a trade. You sell, you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay there's a premium on the changing from Bitcoin to USD, or is it USDT to USD or whatever. You have to pay for that, and then the transfer out of the bank, you gotta pay for that. I would say moving $500 or something like that out of through Coinbase, I'd probably only end up with $450 left. By the time I move funds to Coinbase and switch them around through the different coins that they have to be, and then finally withdraw that to my bank account, I'd be short $50 on $500. With Bittrex, not at all. I move that into Bitcoin, trade that on the market, for whatever price Bitcoin is, sell the Bitcoin into USDT, easy swap into USD or whatever, however you do that, BTC to USD, however you do it, and then just move that money straight out of Bittrex. It's way easier, it's faster, it's cheaper. I don't even fool with Coinbase anymore. I haven't been on Coinbase. I can't tell you honestly how long it's been since I've been on Coinbase. I've had to pull funds out every now and then to pay for things around the house. Oh, this project needs to get done, whatever case may be. It happens. You have to pull funds out every now and then. So when those times come, Bittrex, straight out of Bittrex. I don't even fool with Coinbase. So I don't know what's on Coinbase, but I know things have gotten ridiculous. But like I was saying, back in the day, it was just Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And that's how Litecoin got so popular. It's only because of that Coinbase effect. And the Coinbase effect back then meant a whole lot more, because there was only 3 coins on Coinbase. So the fourth one came in, I think it was probably Ripple or something like that. Or I don't even know which one it was. But yeah, then price through the roof. Coinbase effect. And that's really the only thing Litecoin has on us. Alright, cool. Aussie Patriot, thanks for stopping in. real quick, if you hang out for a minute, if not, that's cool. But if you hang out for a minute, I'll go ahead and show you guys my miner. Basically, what I have here is I started out with an Alienware R11 because I wanted a gaming PC. And right, let's go ahead and show you guys what we got here. All right, there it is. Like I said, this is not complete yet. Oh no, it's phone. Okay, whatever. All right, so yeah, here it is. This is basically what we got. We got my Alienware R11 right here, and I got this because I wanted to get into mining, but at the time, 3090s, 3080s, and stuff like that were damn near impossible to get. So I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet and buy myself a new Alienware. There's my old Alienware right there. So that's my Windows 7 machine, old Alienware, and this is the new one right here. So this is the 3090 that came in it. It's tiny. It's just a little baby one. And then I went to Micro Center a couple of weeks later and came across this 3080. I stayed in line and waited all night for that. Actually got lucky and was the last one to get one of these. They had 28 of them come on the truck, and I was the 28th person in line. That was pretty sweet. And this one right here is a 3090 that I picked up online recently. I paid too much for this graphics card, but I was ready to upgrade. I was ready to have 3 cards, and the 3090 EVGA for the Win 3 was. I thought it was, it would be ideal since I already had the 3080 in the same model. So I went ahead and went with it, and got all this hooked up. I originally didn't have this plexiglass piece in here. I just kind of had them mounted onto this board here. But I got this piece of plexiglass put in, and like I said, this thing is not done. It's very incomplete right now. There's going to be another piece of plexiglass that's going to come over the front. The fans will blow air into it, and then I'm going to put another piece of plexiglass over here on the back, and then I'm going to have a vacuum suction pulling all the heat out of the back. So you're going to have the fans blowing air in the front, and then the vacuum in the back pulling all the heat off the cards out of the back, and keeping them nice and cool. We'll see how hot it gets in the room with that setup, but I think it'll be pretty nice, But yeah, that's that. So yeah, I've got it's 2 3090s and a 3080. Yeah, that's good to hear. Litecoin is basically just ASIC mined Vertcoin. I never thought about it that way, but you know what? Like, yeah, seriously, and that's part of the reason why, looking at these kind of price levels, let me go ahead and get rid of this. I don't think we need that up anymore. And I can go ahead and hide my OCM. There, how's that? A little less clutter. Real quick, let me zoom this out. That is why I say that prices like this are way too possible. You know, here we see ourselves at 71 cents. There's $12, and of course I have these blips drawn in here all the way up here to 22 bucks, right? Is that realistically possible? Yeah, absolutely. Because Vertcoin is what it is. You can't tell me that Bitcoin's worth what it's worth and that Litecoin's worth what it's worth and Vertcoin just isn't worth anything. No, that's not realistic. That's not realistic. That and everything that's awesome about Vertcoin that makes Vertcoin is what it is, and that makes Vertcoin what it is, those are the reasons why I'm so diehard on it. You know, BitVavo is still hot and rocketing. I have to check it out. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. That this halving has been, it's been nuts. It's been a long time coming. It's been great. But so now the halving has passed, right? So the question is, where do we go from here? And as I look here on the chart against Bitcoin, yeah, I just got this, yeah, Bittrex is diving down like crazy. I see that now. I see that. Let me go ahead and jump in here and analyze real quick, real time with you guys. Let's see what we got here. All right, so I was talking about this the other day here against Bitcoin on the daily. Excuse me. I was talking about how we were definitely going to flip bullish here, like we're going to have this golden cross of the 21 and the 50 breaking above the 144. I said, I mean, and this, it played out exactly like I called it. I said that I thought we were going to come off of this and make our way, would go back up. We were still kind of trending sideways below the 21 and the 50 when I made this call. I said, we're definitely, this is going to complete. We're going to go right back up here. We're going to break through the 144, pull the 50 and the 21 up through that line. We'll have our bullish cross, and then from there, sayonara. You got your bullish cross on the daily against Bitcoin. Slim chance with all the price action and activity that we have in Vertcoin now that it's just going to turn around and go right back. Right now, yeah, sure, we have the price going, what, down into the 14s. The 14s? That's great. If we only dump down into the 14s, even 13s after the halving, guys, the halving already passed. The halving is already come and gone. All of the sell the news activity that we would expect to see at a time like this, guys, it would have already happened by now. The price is down to $14.50, which is still way higher than it was this morning. You know, like if this was going to be a sell the news kind of event, then we would have seen ourselves pump for the last couple of days, and we would have been dumping since this morning. Not this morning, but like yesterday morning, the 7th. We would have dumped already. The fact that we made it all the way up to the halving and we're still at like 1700 Satoshis, that goes to show you what kind of strength Vertcoin has right now. It didn't just dump. It made it all the way up to the halving, didn't dump. Now, post-halving, you get a couple of people who are saying, okay, well, the halving's over now, let me go ahead and sell. If you're going to do that, time to do that passed already. You're late now. This isn't going to last. This 1400 Satoshis not going to last. It's too high to be the sell the news dump. It's not realistic. This is going to turn around and go right back up. At least that's my opinion. if you were, selling at some point, higher than that or whatever, this would be a good point to get back in. If you felt like you missed the boat at 1,700 satoshis, or if you got in at 1,700 satoshis, it'd be a good time to dollar cost average in. The more you buy at a lower price, the more returns you eventually see on that. Not telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. It's kind of funny to hear myself saying that because I've watched a lot of cryptocurrency YouTube videos over the years, and I always kind of laugh about that. But yeah, I'm not a financial advisor, dude. I get on these shows, on these these videos, and I just talk about what I see. If I end up being right, cool, nice. I'll pat myself on the back for being right, whatever. But if I decide to put my money on it or whatever, cool, I do that. But I try not to say, okay, hey, look for this trade setup or anything like that. I'm not that guy. I'll do what I'll do. I'll let you guys know what I see in the charts and everything like that. But I'm not, trying to encourage you to do this with your money now, or now's the time to buy. Throw your money in it now. No. You do what you want. So yeah. Next few days there might be a pump to $2. There will be any. Let's see. There will be any day this VT December. Just my opinion. Yeah, no doubt. $2. Yeah, for sure. And really, the biggest thing with Vertcoin trying to guess, try to do any kind of price predictions or anything like that, you find yourself unlimited, absolutely unlimited on how high the price can go. So really, the only thing you have to go on is when. Can the price get to $50? Yeah. When? That requires a little bit more thought. Can the price of Vertcoin go to $100? Yeah. When? That's the question. When? How high? Unlimited. Can Vertcoin go to $1,000? Yeah. Bitcoin's 50,000 and only has just a quarter of the supply. And Bitcoin's 50 G's. I mean, if Vertcoin had a quarter of Bitcoin's market cap, since Bitcoin has only a quarter of the coins, then we'd be looking at well over $10,000 a coin. $10,000 per VTC. Anything below what Vertcoin would be if it had a similar market cap to Bitcoin is definitely possible in my book. Especially since Bitcoin's just getting started. Bitcoin's just getting started at 50 G's. A couple months down the line, we'll be talking about $50,000 like it's $10,000. Like, that one place where we were once for a long time, we don't really like to talk about it anymore. Like, talking about 50 G's will be like that. So, you can expect to see Bitcoin at prices of $150,000, $200,000. At which point, $1,000 per Vertcoin wouldn't be weird. Wouldn't be weird to see at all. And in that case, would that $1,000 Vertcoin, if you had 1,000 of them, would that be life changing? I'd say so. Yeah. So can $1,000 be 1,000 Vertcoin rather? Can 1,000 Vertcoin be life changing? Yeah, sure. But the question is when. And the more we push, and really, when is a lot closer now than it's ever been. And not just because we're, moving along in time, but because we had to go through all the bad parts of the last couple of years to get to where we are now. We had to go through not, basically keeping each other hush, like, hey, look, I know you want to do marketing and stuff like that, but the coin's not ready yet. We don't want to bring people in so that they can witness this flawed coin and then go on to something else. So that's really why Vertcoin is where it is right now. Like, we kept each other hush hush, like, hey, no, don't, we don't want to get new people in here right now because this thing that we're working on isn't ready yet. So wait till it's ready, and then when the time is right, we can go ahead and let everybody know about this awesome thing that we have. It belongs in the top 10 of cryptos. It's fascinating. It does everything the #1 cryptocurrency does, arguably better. Yeah, absolutely. Love Vertcoin. Let's move to Europe. Hey, like I said, I'm really surprised that Vertcoin has much of a following at all in Europe. That's really surprising to know. I think, like, I try to think about things like languages and stuff like that too. I think it's because, like, maybe some European countries have recognition of the word vert. Like, it's a French word, right, that means green. And I think that maybe around different parts of Europe, there's that recognition. You see the color green, and you see the prefix of the word, the vert, which means green, like verte and everything like that. Like, think like you see that recognition, and you say, okay, green coin. Whereas here in the States or anywhere else, what is a vert coin? I mean, like, Vertcoin is popular here, and that's fortunate, but in other places around the world, that VERT reference, that part of the word, wouldn't really make any sense. Like, people wouldn't associate that with green, which I think actually has a lot to do with the reason why a lot of people call Vertcoin the vertical coin. I did the same thing when I first got into to Vertcoin back in 2018. I was looking at the price like, wow, this thing only goes straight up or straight down. Like, it doesn't even go sideways. It only moves vertically. Let's see. Yeah, see, so like I was in here basically watching all of this. I was just shocked by it. So when I saw it was called Vertcoin, and I looked at the price action, I was like, that's funny. I don't really know what Vertcoin means, but it sure does tend to move vertically a lot. So I think it's kind of funny this time around, seeing that term come up. It's the vertical Bitcoin. It's kind of funny because it's incorrect, but it's true. It's true. And I think at this point, honestly, you guys haven't even really seen how true that can be just yet. It's gonna be a weird and wild ride, because a lot of people, like I said, during these market cycles, a lot of people tend to not make much money because you want to sell the top. Well, you don't really know where the top is going to be. So once the coin has gone up to a certain level, where it's way higher than it was before, you go ahead and sell, and you say, oh wow, okay, cool, I've made a significant profit. Or maybe you think that it's going to go down from there, and maybe you'll try to buy some back later on, and the price just keeps taking off. So then you're kind of stuck. Then you end up having to FOMO in later on. The price keeps going up, and you're like, okay, wow, say like 1,700 satoshis. So you went ahead and sold 1,700 satoshis, and you're just waiting for it to drop back down to 12 or something like that, and it comes down to 1,500, 1,400, and just takes back off. Well, now you're going to end up trying to FOMO back in at like 1,900 satoshis, 2,000 satoshis. You're going to be coming back in, and then that's when you're more vulnerable to having a dip take you out. Because once you FOMO in at a higher price, the dip comes in and it drags you right back down. Then you're emotional. Then you're like, oh man, well, if it's just going to dip, then let me go ahead and sell it, and I'll buy it back at a lower price, and then it goes back the other way on you. So that's basically what I mean by, like, it can be hard to make money even in these extremely bullish conditions if you don't have like the iron will. But one thing that can be pretty good to do is set price targets. Basically, so like, you know, if it hits 4,000 satoshis, I might, you know, go ahead and sell off a little bit right there, because for one, it, you know, might have a tendency to hit that 4,000 satoshi line and come back down. Having watched it as long as I have, I could probably say, well, you know, I sure hope that it continues on forward, breaks through this 4,000 satoshi line, which I've been hoping for a long time. So there's a chance that it'll do that. There's also a chance, realistically, that it'll hit its head and drop back down. So say I go ahead and sell, and then I'm content with myself. Yeah, I sold 4,000 sats. Say that's not the end of it. It just continues on from there. 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 satoshis, 12,000, 20,000 satoshis. Just goes on and on. And you sold at 4,000 satoshis because you thought that might be the top, because that was the highest you'd ever seen it get, because it was so much higher than where you got in. You say you bought in at 1,000 some odd satoshis, it gets to 4,000 sats, you decide to sell for whatever reason. It keeps going up. You're gonna FOMO back in at a higher price. Your emotions will drive you to do that. It would be very difficult to just kind of sit back and say, well, the price it's coming back down now, but I think I'm gonna hold on until it comes back down to the level where I sold at, or just not have it at all. Odds are that instead you'd say, okay, all right, I was wrong on this last trade. Let me go ahead and buy back in at this higher level, and then I'll ride it up, and then maybe sell a dip or something like that up higher. That's what you're going to think, and you're going to buy back in, you're going to FOMO back in, and you're going to set yourself up. So that's a possibility, you know? Of course, the idea of buying back in at a higher price so you can ride it even further, so you can ride it even higher, it's always something that has to be considered. You know, even if you make a trade and it doesn't work out for you, say, you know, you sell that 4,000 satoshis and you're hoping it drops back down to 3,000, and it doesn't. You know, you have to make that choice. What do? Do you just be out of that trade, or do you buy back in at a higher price and risk it? So that's a thing. That is a thing that happens. I want to take a look right here real quick. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it behind me. Yeah, right now BTC has changed to buy. I was looking at this thing earlier. It was strong buy. It was hitting strong buy, like right in the middle of it all day long. Strong buy, definitely buy it. But you see right now, even coming down from 17,000 to not 17,000, 1,700 to 1,400 satoshis, even now we're still at a buy. Go ahead and look at this in the 4 hour. So yeah, we have had a significant pullback here, but it's still a buy. It's absolutely still a buy. This is what you would expect to see. But like I said, this price action is late. This is a late dump. This dump, whoever did this is late to the party. Now you're basically just selling to screw yourself over, because the price is going to go back up, because we didn't have a pre-halving dump. Like the news didn't get sold before the halving. So we can definitely expect to see ourselves take a footing here in the 1,600 Satoshi level, and then from there, however long it takes, we'll definitely break this resistance level and trek on up. And you guys know what I'm waiting for. You guys know what I'm hoping for. There it is. That red line, 4,000 Satoshis. I cannot wait to put this thing behind us. Really, I'm gonna screenshot that so much. Yeah, let's see. Problem with crypto trading and trading in itself is the illusion of quick money. Yeah, no, definitely. And fear of loss, yeah. I mine most cryptos I trade with, and pretty much a hobby for me. I can do, what can I really lose? Yeah, that's true. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with trading mostly because I consider myself to be a hodler, right? I have the crypto that I like, and I keep it in my cold storage wallet, but I also keep a little bit in Bittrex just to kind of fool around with. You know, I have like my big bag that's locked away. That's just gonna be there until it's, you know, I have price targets on that. Say like, you know, when it hits X amount of dollars, okay, cool. Then I can go ahead and pull X amount out, and then, you know, so that way the rest can just keep on going up, and I can line my pockets along the way and everything like that. So, so that's basically how that works. But then I have like my other account, my smaller account that I basically Bittrex, that I use to trade. And I mean, it's tiny by comparison to my big bag. It's just, you know, so that way if I, you know, trade that into that, if I lose it all, it doesn't hurt, you know? And the more the cryptos that I have are worth, you know, eventually you're just kind of playing with house money, and that's a pretty good feeling. So, but yeah, and also, you know, being a Vertcoin holder, and a passionate one at that, knowing that people were selling like every pump, it was so frustrating. But like I said, I get it. I would see it. And the more you watch a coin, the more you start to like recognize what it does and stuff like that. Like, you can see a pump and just kind of be like, man, that's gonna sell off. That's definitely gonna sell off. And, you know, that's where you have to ask yourself the question, you know, am I holding, or am I just gonna go ahead and, they say if you can't beat them, join them. You know what I mean? It's whatever. I hate sellers because I want the price to go up, but I know that's gonna sell off. Like, I can go ahead and sell it at this level right here, probably buy it back at this level. Do you do it or not? Trust is really yours. You know? Is the halving like a process? I mean, is the countdown show that it showed we went halving like 10 minutes ago? Yeah, no. The halving basically it's not really a process. It's just a block number that we hit. The transactions come through, you know, as blocks. We hit a certain block number, and then from there, the halving reward, or the mining reward, is cut in half. Like I said, or rather, I had my my miner up here. Go ahead and change this real quick, make this a little bit bigger. So yeah, like this earlier, it was showing 17 VTC, my expected earnings in a 24-hour, and that did drop down to just under 8 now. So yeah, that's basically all it means. So where I would have been making, you know, earning 20 VTC mining a day, now I'll be earning 10, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and which is kind of like why you want to see a coin halve and why you want to see the price go up around the halving, is because in order for that coin to continue being profitable, then the price should go up. Like, for example, at $1, Vertcoin was more profitable than Ethereum, because of the number of Vertcoin that you would mine in a 24-hour period and how much Vertcoin was worth. So basically, once you mine all that Vertcoin, you can you get, I mean, yeah. Anyways, it basically just halves it. I kind of got lost on what I was trying to say right there, but yeah, no, like it's so yeah. Once you, anyways, it just halves what you can get in 24 hours. I was gonna try to make that all kinds of complicated, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what the halving does. So yeah, it would need at basically if the mining reward is cut in half, you would pretty much need for the coin to be worth double for your mining profits to remain the same. Is basically what I was trying to say. So if you're mining 10 Vertcoin a day and you're making X amount of dollars, if there's a halving and you're only getting 5 Vertcoin a day, in order to get that same X amount of dollars, the coin would have to double in value. So right now Vertcoin would have to get to about $2, which is, yeah, somebody on here just a few minutes ago was saying $2 Vertcoin in the next couple of weeks. Sure, yeah, and $2 would take us right to where we need to be to continue being the most profitable cryptocurrency or the most profitable GPU mined coin. For the next while, it's still going to be Ethereum unless this price action takes us up past $2, in which case we snatch that right back. How sure is it that it will go up? Nothing is guaranteed. I'll start off by saying nothing is guaranteed. We don't even necessarily know for sure that Bitcoin's going to continue going up. Bitcoin could tank from here, and so could Vertcoin. I mean, Bitcoin could take everything with it. So none of it is guaranteed, you know, from a market-wide standpoint. But in terms of what Vertcoin is and where it stands, its utility versus all the other cryptocurrencies and everything like that, I'd say Vertcoin is pretty sure to go up because of what it does, not just being a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency, but because of what Bitcoin is and where Vertcoin fits in to Bitcoin's utility. Basically talking about the Lightning Network. Once we, in order for Bitcoin to actually work as peer-to-peer cash on a wide scale, it's going to need to work on the Lightning Network. And Vertcoin is already on the Lightning Network. So at that point, it's going to become a question of, should I transact in Bitcoin, which could be a little bit slower and a bit more expensive, or should I just go ahead and send this Vertcoin? So at that point, it's going to be a question of, you know, which one would I prefer to use. It's not really going to matter which is worth more. If I want to pay for my sushi in cryptocurrency, I don't really think it's going to make a difference at that point which I sent over. I really think that at some point there's going to be a way where you can use Vertcoin to basically transact Bitcoin. You get what I mean? Like if I decide I want to go ahead and send Bitcoin to the other person over here, I think there might be some kind of back-end switcheroo where that Vertcoin Bitcoin would just switch to a currency on the Lightning Network that is less bogged down at the time, like Vertcoin. You just switch into Vertcoin, send that on across real quick, and that'll get turned back into Bitcoin and deposited into that person's wallet. I think that something like that would be possible. I haven't heard of anything like this, but I'm sure, and maybe that's the way the Lightning Network could work. You know, Bitcoin needs to go A to B. Vertcoin's faster, gets transacted automatically, switch back on the other end, bam, done. That would definitely increase the use case for Vertcoin. Something like that would be huge. If Bitcoin actually needed it to transact efficiently, that'd be awesome. What would you do the stop loss? Right now, if I was, honestly, I would have put it in already. No. Honestly, looking at it, I would probably, I'd say around like 1400. If I was gonna do it, I'm not, but if I was gonna do a stop loss or something like that, I'd say around 1400, because then basically you would have all of this be negated. And then from there, it'd make it easier. It'd have the momentum to just kind of keep falling through here, and then it'd want to kind of lean out, as I say, and kind of come out this direction, out right here around 12,000, 1,100 satoshis. If it was going to go down, and if I was planning for something like that with a stop loss, then I'd probably drop my stop loss around 1,400 satoshis, because by then it would just be like a rock. It would come down and then start to find itself, or start to kind of balance out around 1,100 sats. That's what I mean. If I was kind of going to come down, which I'm not, that's where I put it. Halving to the next countdown to the next halving. Yeah, I guess it's never too early to start counting down, but I'd say it's a little too early right now. We still got 4 years. Still got 4 years to go, but we'll be here. Everything work out as it should. Yeah, we'll be here. I don't plan on moving or moving on from the channel or anything like that. Vertcoin is something that I've been into passionately for a long time now, and it's part of me now. Like years ago when I was into it, I believed in it, and it broke my heart, and I moved on, did other things. But when the time was right, like, I came right back to Vertcoin, and there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? So 4 years from now, next halving, when we break down to what it would be, 6 and a quarter blocks. That'd be pretty cool. We'll be here 4 years from now. I'll see y'all back here next halving live stream 2025. I want to see the fireworks again. Refresh the page. Let's see if it does it for us. There it goes. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. And big thank you to Alvi Mahmoud, I believe is the way to pronounce his last name, who put this together. Is very active in the Discord chat, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, that is also who put together the 12 VTC VT Simber, rather 12 and a half VTC VT Simber giveaway. So he's definitely been doing quite a bit for the community here in the last couple of weeks, helping us all kind of rally together and soldier on through this halving, and through the growth of the community and everything like that. He's definitely been a good source of support and everything like that for the community throughout this entire process. So thank you, and congratulations. This is an awesome piece of coding right here. Love it. I thought so. Hyper Gadgets, yeah. That I thought it's very similar to You Hyper Gamers. I know that to be one of your tags also. So yeah, awesome. And there is another giveaway. In fact, we're going to go ahead and do another giveaway right now. Let's see. What should we do on this one? I think All right, the first person to tweet happy Vertcoin halving and at Vertcoin Core in that tweet will receive the next 12.5 VTC. So the first person to get that done, so the first notification that I get that I've been tagged and the tweet says happy Vertcoin halving, you will receive that 12.5 VTC. So I'll be looking for that Twitter user to, well, once I announce who it is, I'll be looking for that Twitter user to send me their a DM with their address. I'm looking for it. Alvi, I appreciate the follow. Thank you very much. It's good to have you on the stream. It means a lot. Vertcoin Halving made it to the Google newsfeed yesterday. That's awesome. That's awesome. It was really exciting when the article from Coin Rivet, the Vertcoin article from Coin Rivet, when that got picked up by Yahoo Finance. That was really exciting. Thanks for doing the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you. No problem. Like I said, more to come. More to come. I was a little worried going into this one, but I like it. So do definitely expect more lives coming up. I'm still not seeing that tweet come through. Still just waiting to see if I get a notification on that last giveaway. That was to tweet out happy Vertcoin halving and tag Vertcoin Core in that tweet, and you will win the 12 VTC. Oh, we got one. We got one. Morningstar. Morningstar. There it is. Happy Vertcoin halving. Congratulations, you are the winner. Go ahead and send me a DM with your receiving address and I'll go ahead and push that out to you. Let's go ahead and pop in to the, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Go ahead and move my miner out of the way. Into the order books. You see we did fall down to about 1,500 Satoshis. The halving counter just went negative. I appreciate that, Morningstar. But yeah, so like I said, you know, 1,500 Satoshis it's valid of a retest. It's basically what you would expect to see, if anything. I would have expected to see more. Honestly, I would have expected to see a more severe dump than this before the halving. But now that we've cleared it and we're still hanging out at this price that we've already come down, kissed 1,400 Satoshis, and we're on the way back up. You see 1533, we're on the way back up already. That little sell-off that you see here, that you think was going to be like the big like sell the news kind of event, everything like that, like I think you're going to be surprised, because this is about more than just the halving. You know, the halving was a good reason for all of us to, you know, rally together and, you know, celebrate that, and kind of, you know, it was a good reason to, you know, kind of try to grow the community around that, and we've done that. But along with that is all of the awareness that has gone out over the last couple of weeks as we approach the halving. Like, there's been a lot of awareness that's gone out about Vertcoin, so now more people know about it, and that is really the big takeaway from all of this. Is sure, we had, you know, some price action come in leading up to the halving, and that's great, but the big takeaway, like the big accomplishment price wise that we get from that, isn't the lead up to the halving, but it's all of the recognition that Vertcoin has gained in these last couple of days, weeks, and months. That's where it matters, is that now more people know about it. The more people know about it, the higher the price of this coin is going to go, because it's only logical. I say that all the time in my videos. It's only logical. We're here because it makes sense to be. Because Vertcoin is an ace coin. It's Chad AF. And it deserves it. I'm not going to walk away from a top tier cryptocurrency because nobody else is paying attention to it. You know? Eventually they will. And that time has come. So yeah, no, definitely, don't worry about this price action. The community has grown. This is going to find a bottom that's way higher than anybody expects right now, and it's going to take off from there. Most of the people that have been holding Vertcoin for the last couple of years are probably going to, at some point in this rally, find themselves wishing they had more Vertcoin, because the likelihood is you're probably going to sell at some point for a major profit, and it's just going to keep on ripping, and you're going to be like, dang it, I sold too soon. But yeah, that's just the way Vertcoin is. Yeah, Chad F, definitely. So why would I let that go, you know? So yeah, it's definitely good to see the community growing. Definitely. I've been watching this price do a couple of different things here. Rather, wrong chart. I think I'm going to show you guys maybe one or two more things in the chart here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this for the night. It's been definitely fun. I'm not ready to get out of here just yet. One thing I want to show you guys real quick. It's against the dollar, and I have talked about this a little bit in my video, one of them before. And check this out. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this face melting rip right here, from all the way down here to all the way up there. Right? That is astronomical. That would be serious. Like, that would be super hardcore right there. And something like even like this was just to happen. But take into consideration that this is just the beginning. This is what you have down here, and this is going to play out very similar, but on a much higher level. So $12, $20. Here's my blip for 22. Probably going to get smashed straight through onto 30, 40, $50 VTC. Not unrealistic, not at all. I was laughing a little bit earlier when the price was breaking 1600 Satoshis, and I found myself having to kind of like shrink the chart. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the beginning. Here we go. This is when it happens. You see what I mean? Like you're kind of pulled in like this real tight, you know what I mean? And the price is going up, and you all of a sudden find yourself scrolling out, zooming out. Okay, all right, oh man, it's going higher, it's going higher. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this number a lot. If you hold on to Vertcoin, stick with it. Develop those iron hands. Definitely, at very least, have a big bag. A bag that you don't touch, and maybe like have some on hand. Like if you absolutely feel that itch, you really feel the need to do a little trading here and there, trade your small bag, but definitely keep your big bag. You're gonna find yourself just zooming out, scrolling down, zooming out, scrolling down, over and over again, because that thing's just gonna. You're gonna have to keep doing it to keep up. On what time frame are you talking about? That's the question. Like I talked about earlier, all of these prices can happen at any time, because Vertcoin has been made to be that good. Through all this time that we've been, quietly working behind the scenes and everything like that, developing the one-click miner, developing VertHash, all of that, Vertcoin is now the coin that it needs to be, and it can be any price level. Any price level. Like I said, anything up to Bitcoin. If you were to rehash the market cap and everything like that, where basically Bitcoin has a quarter of the supply of Vertcoin, so Vertcoin at a quarter of Bitcoin's market cap would be over $10,000. Anything between here and there, totally possible. So right now we're looking at under $1. Anywhere between $1 and $10,000 is completely plausible. It's all a matter of when. When will it happen? When do we go there? And that basically comes down to popularity. When does Vertcoin really get that recognition? When does the market kind of let it happen? It's already started. Now we have this channel, you know what I mean? It's somewhere for new people to go and look and learn about Vertcoin and everything like that. And now we have more people in Vertcoin who hopefully will get out and tell other people about Vertcoin. And from there, I mean, like I said, even if none of that happens, with the Lightning Network being built out the way it is, Vertcoin being at the forefront of all of these new technologies, Taproot, submarine swaps, Lightning swap, I mean, all of this stuff, Vertcoin is usually the first one to try it out. Pretty much always. I think like the first Lightning Network transaction was a Vertcoin network. The first submarine swap was Vertcoin to Bitcoin submarine swap. Taproot, Vertcoin got Taproot before Bitcoin did, and that was a Bitcoin upgrade. We got it first. Vertcoin is better than so many of these cryptocurrencies, that like the solid cryptos, Bitcoin, Litecoin, you name it, Doge, even if you kind of want to lump all those in together into one category. Vertcoin shines above all of them from so many different reasons. It doesn't make sense for it to be 77 cents. Does it? Yeah, I mean, I try not to do a lot of swing trading either, for a lot of reasons. Like I said, I want to see the price of Bitcoin go up. I don't want to contribute to, the dump. So I try to, definitely be more of a holder in that regard. But you know, if there's a setup and it looks like I can take advantage of it, then you know I might, you know, with a small bag just to play around. Every now and then with that small bag, I'll throw some into cryptocurrencies that I don't even like. You know, like, hey, look, that's probably gonna go up. Let's see if we can ride it up. Sure, you know. So, but yeah, like I said, I got like a whole ginormous stack of VTC stashed away, never sees the light of day, and it won't until Vertcoin hits price targets that I have set up, predetermined. Oh, real quick, for everybody who is mining Vertcoin, and I think I'm probably actually gonna make this the last thing. So you guys know. We'll get to that, but real quick, there is, if you're mining Vertcoin using the one-click miner, basically before you wouldn't have been able to keep an eye on the progress of your miner, right? Gotta have a moon bag. Yes, exactly, moon bag. That's what they call it. I was trying to think of what what the name for that was, but yeah, absolutely, gotta have a moon bag. All right, so this is the latest version of the one-click miner. You can go ahead and check yours to make sure it's the same as mine, or at least make sure it doesn't say update available down here. If it does, go ahead and update it. One of the things that came out of the recent update that is definitely worthwhile is the view payout information tab right here, this link. Basically mining Ethereum like I was doing, two miners, you can kind of, you know, just put that information into your phone and keep track of the activity for the wallet that you've given it, everything like that. So so for your worker, for your system, all of that activity will be tracked. And that was one thing that I enjoyed about it, like mining Ethereum through two miners, that I didn't get from mining Vertcoin. That's another thing now that Vertcoin now has, that is just another reason for this thing to go crazy sky high. We're making all these crazy developments, all these awesome developments, making Vertcoin better and better all the time. Of course, and this is just another one of those things. View payout information. This will take you to, it probably is a different site depending on what pool you're using. But, so here's mine. I'm using the Zerg pool. And, so yeah. I'll refresh this. And basically here it shows me how many Vertcoin I've already basically mined that just need to be paid out, how many it has paid out over the time that I've been mining. So like whatever your OCM wallet is, however long you've been mining to that wallet, it'll show you how many Vertcoin you sent to that wallet throughout that time. And so it'll keep up with that. It'll tell you how many Vertcoin you've mined in the last 14 days, 30 days, 24 hours. And this is the thing. This is something that's actually pretty wild that I didn't realize until just recently having this. Of course, like I was saying, the OCM was telling me that I was mining about 20 Vertcoin a day. But because of how it pays them out, it's kind of hard to exactly keep track of, okay, yeah, I made 20 VTC today. You can't really tell that because there's always a little bit that's held back in your pending payout, right? So this helps you keep track. But what I learned from this is that while the OCM was telling me that it was 20 Vertcoin a day, on here it's telling me that within a 24-hour period I'm actually getting 30 VTC a day. So this may only drop down to 15, which will still be pretty good. So yeah, definitely do that. Download the new version of One Click Miner if you haven't already, and you'll have access to this too. And what I recommend doing, like I did, is just copy the address onto your phone. Open up a tab on your browser on your phone, copy the address down manually if you have to, and that way whenever you're out having your nachos at Applebee's, you can pop in and check your OCM progress. Or if your miner has a tendency to crash like mine used to, it was a riser cable issue, but mine used to go down all the time, and so it was beneficial for me to mine Ethereum then too, because at least then I would have some kind of indication remotely that my miner had crashed, where I didn't have that with Vertcoin, and now we do. So awesome. I appreciate all the progress that the developers are putting together. That's one of the bigger things about crypto too, about Vertcoin rather, is while we don't have figureheads or individuals with big lump sums of pre-mined Vertcoin anywhere, what we do have is an awesome team of developers that have really helped this coin come back from some pretty bad times, and they've been nothing short of absolutely stellar in getting everything done that we've needed to do. Garrett Yap, who's extremely talented, whenever VertHash needed to be built, he took the reins on that. Ended up having to basically contract somebody else to build it, but it was those developers who decided exactly what needed to be done, exactly how it needed to be built, and ultimately took the community to basically led this horse to that water, and so we got that taken care of and we got VertHash built. So definitely a big kudos and all of the appreciation in the world to the awesome team of developers that we have for Vertcoin. It's dropping with a sad face. Oh, don't be sad. Don't be sad. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got here. 1524. That's not bad. We've already touched 1400s. We went up to 1750. We came down, touched the 1400s. If this is as low as we're gonna go, I mean, and that's not bad. We only came down and touched the 1400s. Like I was saying, if we came down to like the 12s or something like that, if I was gonna, or like 14-ish, 13, if I was gonna put in a stop loss, it'd be somewhere around there, because then we don't really know where the floor is. But we've already come down. We've fallen into the 1400s level, and then we're just kind of, we're already bouncing back up. So from here, you could say, you know, even if we kind of bounced around between 1700 and 1400 for a while and kind of played around and draw ourselves a little bull flag here and then take off, that's cool. But I don't think like right now is the time to freak out and, you know, maybe, you know, sell out of your position or try to take profit now, because we've already found ourselves at a bottom here where we've already started to recover from. So the initial dip, the initial dive is really the most concerning thing. Once you find yourselves rebounding from that, it's all just, where do you put your entry? You know, if you did sell, where do you enter back? If you want to sell more, where do you do that at a higher price? See, we just fell down to 1483, but we're still higher than the lowest we went, and I think that's something to be thankful for. The likelihood that we actually go lower than 1420, it's possible, but I think it's a pretty slim chance, just because this isn't the initial shock anymore. Like, this was the initial shock. This was the initial dump. Already back up to 15, 17. You see what I mean? There's nothing to worry about. I wouldn't worry about it at all. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is about time for me to go ahead and get up out of here. It has been an awesome time streaming with you guys, talking to all of you. I really do plan on doing this again in the very near future. And yeah, that's it. It's now 80 cents. Let's see where we're going. Yeah, see what I mean? No worries. No worries. It's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be just fine. That was the halving. That was the halving. And now in 6 months we have another big milestone to hit. And that's Ethereum going proof of stake. So that's awesome. Within 6 months of each other, we have two huge events for Vertcoin. It's going to be an awesome time. So this is just the beginning. The community is here. The coin is up. We're finally getting the recognition from now. Yeah, go ahead and send me a DM in Twitter, and I'll go ahead and send that over to you. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate all of y'all for being here. It's been a great stream, and I will see you in the next one. Y'all have a good night or day. All right, later on. Vertcoin Core, out.